What I'm going to share with you in this video is probably one of the most important parts to becoming profitable, getting funded and making your first payout. And the reason why I can say that is because when I got this part right, what I'm going to share with you in this video, when I got this part of my trading right, this is when I began to trade profitably, got funded and started to make payouts. And if you want to see proof of my payouts and certificates, if you go to my community post on my channel, the community post section, from time to time, I tend to post screenshots of my payout certificates, so you can see that for proof. But anyway, before I was profitable, before I was trading multiple six figures in funding, I used to just wake up and come onto the charts, super excited to see what the day is going to give me, to see what the charts are going to give me, and I'll just trade. There was no real structure or process to my trading. I'd wake up, jump on the charts, and I was eager to see what the markets had to offer. And to be more precise, I didn't have an entry model. I didn't have any structure or process to the way I was actually taking trades. And so one week I was using the 5-minute time frame to enter my trades, and then the next week I was using the 1-hour time frame to actually enter and take my trades on. So my trading was inconsistent. There was no actual structure or process to how I was taking my trades. And it wasn't until I actually built a set entry model and understood that there needs to be a consistent process to how I'm actually taking my trades, did I then go on to eventually become profitable, get funded, and start making consistent payouts. And this is what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video, the importance of having an entry model. And maybe the reason why right now you're struggling to trade profitably, you keep failing every funded challenge you take, is because you're missing an entry model. Your trading is inconsistent. Your actual structure and your process to taking your trades is all over the place, just like mine was before I was profitable. Like I said, one week I was using the 5-minute time frame to take my trades, and then the next week I was using the 1 hour. And so the question you're probably thinking then is, well, how do I build an entry model? What is an entry model and what are the components of it? And so this what brings me on to the next part of this video. An entry model is literally just a clear set of rules, a process that you follow, steps, confirmations to indicate to you and confirm to you that there is a trade present. That's it. That's an entry model. That's my understanding of what an entry model is. And like I said, when I built my entry model and actually began to understand exactly what it is I need to see in order to actually take a trade, I began to see profitability. And I really believe this is what's going to help you as well to get funded, pass that funded account and actually make your first payout. So just before I go on there, if you don't have an entry model and you do want to learn one, you can learn mine for free. I made a webinar teaching my entire strategy that I use to get funded multiple six figures in funding. And in that webinar where I teach my strategy, I also teach my entry model. So if you don't want to watch the rest of this video and build one yourself and learn from what I'm going to be telling you in a second here, you can literally just click the link in the description of this video and watch that webinar for free and learn my entire strategy and use it to potentially make your first payout. And so when building an entry model, very simple, there's a few steps and rules, or just a few steps you need to actually build in. So first of all, you need to understand what time frame you're going to be using. So like I said in the beginning there, how I was entering my trades was all over the place. One week I was using the 5-minute and the next week I was using the 1-hour time frame. And so the first part of building your entry model is you need to understand and establish what time frame you're going to be using to take your trades. That's it. The next part of building an entry model is to understand, okay, how much risk are you going to be using per trade? Kind of simple, but a lot of people neglect this part. So you need to know exactly how much risk each trade you're going to be, or how much risk, sorry, you're going to be risking on each trade you take. And this third part here, which is again very important, is you need to define a clear set of rules. So you need to clearly understand and write down a set of rules that is going to confirm to you when the market creates or shows these rules, when the market creates this pattern, you then know to enter. And so from my own experience and from my own entry model, to give you some insight, I only have 3 rules. And again, you can learn this for free by clicking the link in the description. But my entry model only has 3 rules. And it's these 3 rules that indicate to me now it's time to take a trade. And so this is how you're building an entry model. You're clearly writing down what time frame you're going to use, how much risk you're going to be risking per trade. And then thirdly here, you're going to need to be writing down and understanding exactly what rules you need to see in order to actually take a trade on your entry time frame. And so for me, I need to see breaker structures, I need to see strong momentum, and I need to see candles closing above or below the break of structure. And so you can start to see here that this entry model is a clear set of rules. It's confirmations that you need to see from the market, okay, to indicate to you that it's now time to take a trade. And when I had actually built and established my entry model, this is when I started to see consistency, because my trading wasn't all over the place. I knew once I'd seen these rules that had been clearly written down, back tested, and the data had been collected on it, so I know it worked, which is also really important. I had these rules written down, and all I needed to do is just make sure that I am waiting patiently enough to see these rules play out. And it's as clear as day. It makes things a lot less confusing. There's no guesswork. I'm not wondering whether, oh, is this a trade I need to be taking or not? I know, okay, the market has now made these 3 rules. It's time to take a trade. And I highly recommend that this is what you do for your trading. And like I said in the beginning of the video here, this is potentially what you are missing. And one of the most important parts for you to become profitable, get funded, and start making payouts is to have an entry model. You need to know exactly, or I suggest that you know and write down exactly what rules you need to see for the market to do, or what you need to see the market do to indicate to you that it's now time to take a trade. So you're removing all the guesswork. There's no hesitation. You're not wondering whether it's time to take a trade. You're not flicking through different time frames. You know that you're using a set time frame, a set amount of risk, and following a specific set of rules. And I highly recommend, and as part of my own entry model, I do highly recommend that you have no more than 3 rules. Really, you want to keep it simple. You don't want to have a whole page of all these different rules. I just have 3 rules, which I went through there, that I follow on a set time frame to indicate to me that it's now time to take a trade. And having this entry model, like I said, I can't stress enough how important it is to your trading and for you to have confidence in your execution, to execute consistently and to follow the same process. Because if you're just trading sporadically and the trades you're taking are random, there's no edge or process to your entries, you can't expect to have consistent results. And this is why you're going to continue to struggle, or this is why you are struggling to pass those funded accounts and actually get payouts. And so this is what I wanted to talk about in this video, and just express to you the importance of having an entry model and what you need to actually build an entry model. And so again, you can, if you don't want to build one yourself, you can learn mine for free and my entire supply and demand strategy by just clicking the link in the description. You can watch the webinar that I put together and learn my whole strategy, which you can use if you put in the work and take it seriously. You can use it to get funded and potentially make your first payout. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.